Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something clicked. I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it. And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist.
This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening.
It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session. I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay, that was a minute.
Okay. And I noticed that what came up right away was a shameful feeling in my belly. That feels like there's also, I don't know, another part that feels like it wants to get the conversation about whether or not to publish out of the way. I noticed that part.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think it was the latter first, and then some shame.
Okay. Yeah. Just check in with the shame. Let it know we'd like to come back to it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like an aggressive shame. It feels like a soft, kind of sad shame. And yeah, I was just looking out for any other parts that want to push that away or not fully welcome it.
How does it feel about giving space for the other?
I think it's a little nervous.
Okay. Would you like to just stay with it?
Yeah, I'm just going to hear it for a minute. It doesn't feel like it is unwilling to step back. It's just hesitant in doing that.
Does it have any requests of you or any other messages it wants you to know?
Yeah, I think it's mostly just letting me know that it doesn't want to feel pressured into one decision or the other, and that's meaning like internally.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Doesn't want to feel pressured by the like, let's get this conversation over with part to make up its mind or have a decision made.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I also want to try to make our decisions based on more than just the pressure from parts.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it feels like it's softened back now.
Sounds important, and I'd love to get to know it and make all the time it needs.
Yeah, me too. Just checking back in with the part that felt like it was needed to get this clear the air sort of feeling like.
Okay.
Yeah, that came up. Yeah, so this part I feel more in my head, and it's more like there's really good work that we're doing, and it wants to get back to that, and it wants to kind of get this out of the way, this other conversation out of the way, because it's feeling hopeful and a little urgent about the like not forgetting the parts that we've been working with.
Okay. It's concerned we might forget about our parts work or the work we've already done.
Yeah, like particularly the 5-year-old and all of the protectors around her.
Okay. So it's saying have this other conversation so you can get back to parts work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily like say it like that because it sees the conversation about whether or not to publish as parts work too. That's a different set of parts, but it doesn't want us to forget about it really, yeah. I think it really recognizes the relevance to the parts that we've been working with around intimacy and everything.
Does it all make sense to you?
Whoa, I don't know if this was this part or where this, but something just came in really clearly and really like fast. That those two things are linked. They're not as separate as we think, or maybe as that part thought. I'm not sure if I fully get that, but I'm interested to find out what that looks like.
Okay. Personally, I'm not in any hurry, and I don't have any preference about a direction that we go. So I just want to put that out there.
Thanks. So, yeah, I'm feeling like, and I've kind of felt this subtly since we got on the call, but just seeing it a little bit, feeling it a little clearer now. It feels teen like nervous and anxious teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just really worried about like how people are viewing her. Yeah, what she's expected to do or not do.
Would you like to focus on her for now?
Yeah.
Okay. The previous part or two, okay with that? Giving space for that?
Yeah, I feel like those messages came through and were understood and sort of like cleared the view for this kind of underlying teenager feeling that I couldn't put a finger on before. It's like, yeah, I feel nervous and anxious like I was in my teen years.
Okay. Do you want to say more about how that's showing up physically in the body?
It feels tingly in my arms and in my chest and like a faster heart rate. Just sort of like a restless feeling in my arms.
Mm-hmm.
And like a dardiness of the eyes.
Uh-huh.
Like she's looking around at who's judging her and how she's being looked at.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel towards her?
I feel close to her. Like I feel a heart connection to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like it was hard. There were real threats to like how she was being perceived.
Mm-hmm. And is she aware of you there?
It feels like it.
Okay.
I think she's still scared.
Mm-hmm.
But she's aware of me.
Okay. Does it feel to her like there are still parts in you or me that are liable to be judging her? Or like they're present?
I think she views me as a teenager as well.
Okay.
So that might be part of the like unsure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she seems unsure to answer that question if there's parts in me or you. It doesn't seem like she's that concerned
Mm-hmm.
with you right now.
Okay.
She feels unsure if I'll judge her.
Okay.
And that's okay because I don't know that she knows me all that well or has had that much time with me yet. So,
Yeah. She may
yeah.
also have experienced that from other parts in you.
Yeah. The sensations definitely have calmed. Like the eyes are still pretty darty, but like my arms are more settled. She's definitely giving me some memories about some stuff that was going on then at school, mostly like judgments from other classmates and how they would result in physical threats or altercations and just this general unwanted attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like painfully shy and she's really doesn't want all of that attention.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I'm seeing her, she's putting her head in her hands quite a bit, like every few seconds, like after sharing something, she just head in her hands.
Okay.
Kind of hiding.
Yeah. Let her know that you've seen some of how hard that's been for her.
Yeah.
And let her know your real age.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, she likes that. It just felt right to show her like a little bit more about my life now. And yeah, just that feels nice to her to see. Yeah, I'm not in high school anymore.
And also let her know that she doesn't have to share anything. Just whatever feels right for her.
She's just reminding me of how hard that unwanted attention is. Like when we're put out there in a way that we can't help what comes at us. And we can't, take ourselves outside of that judgment. It's like she didn't have the option to go to school or not. It was just what she had to do. And she just had to be at the mercy of it. And yeah, that was so hard.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's scared about like this new community of people now with the podcast. Like if we can't control the judgments or opinions coming at us,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get that. And it's really important.
Yeah. And she's right. We can't control that. Not completely. What other people are going to think or say, or how that's going to make them behave.
Yes, that's right. Although you do have the choice of not participating in a way that you didn't have in school.
Right.
Or limiting your participation in whatever way feels right.
Yeah, we have more options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for her, she's overwhelmed by the options because I don't think at that time she felt like anything she did made a difference. And yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Right. Yeah, me too. She's like, what decision do I make? Every decision that I make, it just ends up the same way.
Feeling like she might be judged.
Yeah, and her safety was threatened. It's like just trying to be invisible so that people would leave her alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really see how hard that was for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does it feel okay for you the way she's showing you all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like I've never I didn't realize it was so like deep. Like like she actively felt so threatened. And I think like over time, like other parts have just sort of summarized or made excuses and said like, oh, everybody has a hard time in school. And, it was just temporary. And yeah, the I'm fine, we're fine parts.
Yeah.
And just I'm understanding on a different level how really fucking terrifying that was for her.
Yeah.
And just like how alone she felt in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really understand until right now. Like, she really is scared of like it's like that mob turning against you type of feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stuff happens in high schools.
Yeah. Yeah, kids can be cruel.
Yeah.
And they're confused and hurt and acting out. It's going to sound like a funny thing to say, but like it's nice to understand that.
Yes. Yes.
That's
what we're doing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, she feels really thankful right now for seeing her.
Again, we got time, so if there's more that she wants to show you, anything else that she wants you to know about what was hard for her in that time?
I think she feels really understood. It's like that, how scary it was to have people turn against you just at the drop of a hat for things completely out of your control. And and then, yeah, like she mentioned before, even when I tried to make choices that would mitigate that, or try to lessen that impact, it didn't work. And the attention was brought on anyways. Yeah, just really scared of other people's impulses and what they might do. And it's all high school scenes, though. It's like she's not, it's not anything present. She's not really sharing much about like how that would look now or fears around now, but it's just specific memories and feelings and situations in high school, like dozens. She's really kind of
Do you want to
kept a
offer
catalog.
To go back into any of those times with her and to be there for her?
I'm just noticing a part that came in that felt like that would take us too far off track.
Okay.
But I'm just kind of questioning it gently, like, how can we be so sure we're on a different track?
And what track did it want to be on?
Our work before this, picking up from,
Okay. I'm happy to, commit to following up with any parts from any of our conversations. So
yeah, me too.
We've kept pretty good records, and if we want to set that intention to go back, we can do that right now, or we can do that later. I could ask you later. There's something I can do. I can check with you later about setting that intention.
Yeah, I think that intention is definitely there. And I definitely trust myself and my parts to follow up with that. And it's good to have your reinforcement too.
How does it respond to all that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's still worried that, okay. Yeah. It's worried because there's some, like, between the last time we spoke and now, there was another instance of like freezing in an intimate situation. And I wasn't able to implement like the things that we had brainstormed on. So I think that's where this, like, don't get off track.
Okay. Yeah, that's
This
feeling
is
urgent.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel a lot of curiosity towards the teenager, and I don't know exactly, but there is some sort of a feeling like it's connected. And, like that shame, frozen kind of shame that the teenager felt, and like the helplessness that she felt towards other kids. It's all very tied up with like what was going on for her romantically too at that time. And yeah, just the general, okay, it's like the general umbrella of like verbal and physical violations that just make us feel like we can't move.
Yeah. Yeah, you could check that out with the teen part if that was also part of her experience, was feeling frozen.
Just trying to be invisible. That's what it is. It's more, I keep saying frozen, but I'm glad you just had me check with her more, because it's not that it's frozen necessarily. It's like kind of what we talked about before with the coyote, like make yourself appear like you're not moving. Don't be noticeable. Don't stand out. Like, no set of movements. And she felt like she didn't, like there wasn't a safe place to move. So, yeah.
Do you have any more clarity about which direction to go? Is the freeze one, or the one worried about us getting off track?
It's kind of calmed with the understanding that like these things are all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just seeing what this teenager needed. Someone that was paying attention, that cared about her,
Yes.
Yeah, that was looking out for her.
Uh-huh. So you want to try offering again, asking her to take you back to some of those times and see if you can see how you can redo them with her?
Yeah, I'm just like standing in the hallway with her. There's lots of kids just bustling around, and we're just kind of standing facing each other. Friggin' fluorescent lights. They were so bright.
Yep. Hard to hide.
Yeah, those are awful. Yeah, she just doesn't want to be there.
Okay. And that is, something else I would offer is kind of taking her out of that time. But if there's anything that she wants to go back and redo with you, just to have that
She's kind of,
experience
yeah.
of being seen and cared for in those moments.
Yeah. And she's just showing me like in quick succession, just these like loving conversations when she would get to school, and that someone would tell her that they could see what was going on, right? Like in the abusive relationship or in the bullying, that they could see what her day was like so far, and they are here with her and they're paying attention, and that none of that is okay and none of that is deserved.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't do anything to bring this onto herself. It's not her fault.
Right.
Yeah, it feels like a little hard for her to believe that it's not her fault.
She feels like she has some responsibility for attracting the abuse or the bullying.
Yeah, not knowing what to do, how to get out of it. Yeah.
Might remind her that at that age, she has parts then too. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, she's going through a lot. But she didn't deserve those things that happened.
And she did deserve someone she could talk to. And who would be there and care about that. Someone she could trust to have those loving conversations.
Yeah, someone that could make her feel less like alone, but that's more and trying to make sense of things that felt crazy, like situations that felt so hard to comprehend. And she's just like trying to accept them as normal because nobody seems alarmed. Nobody's like pointing out how fucked up any of this is.
Right. Right. Yeah. So she felt alone in that experience of how fucked up it was.
Yeah, and like it was like crazy making for her to try to accept that stuff as normal by herself because she didn't feel like she had anybody to talk to about what was going on. She felt like this was high school. Everybody has a tough time in high school. You just get through it. And she's like, this is not, none of this is okay.
Yeah.
And just hugging.
Nice. Can I request a 1-minute break? I have something in the other room that's distracting me.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. You've just been here hugging.
Awesome. So whenever it feels right, you could do that, inviting her out of that time. If it feels like there's more to redo, then do that. You can also do that later.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she has a pretty clear idea of where she'd like to go.
Great.
She wants to go into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Just outside of that building with the terrible lighting and the loud noises and the people and just in the woods with the birds and some water.
Okay.
Yeah, peacefulness.
Yeah. Set it up any way that she likes.
Mm. Okay, she wanted to show me her like busting through the doors of the high school, leaving,
Mm-hmm.
like kicking them, like stomp kicking the
Yeah.
doors open and walking
Nice.
through. Yeah. And she's just running towards the woods. Feels free.
Yeah.
Yeah, she feels like she wants to like yell. Like I can just see her kind of like yelling as she's going through the woods and just letting out like silent rage is what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting out their rage, unsilencing it.
Yeah. She couldn't do that in the school.
Yeah. Tell her to do that. Do that until the rage feels like it's all out.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much more capacity. This guy can take all of it. Yeah, she just kind of like flopped down on the blanket.
Is there anything else? Ask her to check her body for any other burdens to feel that she feels like she's carrying, and ask how she'd like to release them.
She feels good. She feels warm and she's just really glad to be out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be able to yell and run and play.
Yeah. Could let her know that that's something that you can keep providing for her. There's a space to do that, and that she doesn't have to go back.
She just stopped what she was doing and asked me about tests. Like, do I have to go back for tests? I said, no more tests. You're done.
Mm-mm.
That's all done. We never have to go back to that building ever again. She just keeps showing me like her arms wrapped around herself, like she wants to feel safe.
Is there anything else that she needs from you to keep feeling that in the future?
Okay. So there's a couple of instances that she was showing me earlier that she wants to bury them in the ground. There's something about like yeah, this is a little strange, but that's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
like the scars of certain things, certain instances she wants to bury
Okay.
really deep in the ground and let them just dissolve back into the ground.
Okay. Can help her with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. So she's still going through it.
No hurry.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like she wanted to go over kind of a lot of the same ones more than once because of different wounds.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all buried.
Did she have any requests about how she stays in touch with you?
Sorry, I'm just letting her cry. Like once she finished putting the dirt back over the hole, she laid and she started crying over the fresh dirt, and she's just she's okay, but she's just letting it out and crying
Mm-hmm.
over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like letting out the grief around taking on those scars. We've kind of walked back over to the blanket, and you asked how she would like to get in touch with me.
Yeah, if she has any requests around how to arrange that, continuing to stay in touch.
That tingling in the arms that she did before, like I feel like that's an agreeable place for us where I'm okay with her getting my attention that way, and she is used to at least starting like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's sort of like slight restlessness in the arms and the hands.
And she feels like this place in the woods is a good place to stay for now.
It feels like she wants my assurance that it's safe, that she's safe there.
Yeah. Yeah. You can make it her woods. It doesn't have to just be the woods outside the high school, you know?
Mm,
You can make it however you like, however she likes.
yeah.
And another modification might be that it's kind of present day, that she's with you in the present.
I'm just seeing what she thinks about that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got distracted with some noise.
You're checking with her about when and where and how these woods are that would feel safe for her.
Yeah, we're envisioning it like kind of like you said, her own world, and she can invite in whatever she needs. She can go wherever she wants. She can make huts and shelters and bonfires and bird nests, and all. She can just make whatever she wants and do whatever she wants and howl at the moon at night and go swimming.
And does she need anything else for that to feel safe for her?
She's showing me extending I guess it's safety, love or safety. It's extending something from my heart to her. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just giving her that. She seems good. She's run off playing.
All right. Often at this stage, I'm kind of looking to circle back for like protectors that might have led us here, to update them. But I'm not sure that I could pinpoint them.
Yeah.
So
I think like maybe shame in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one that I can think of. I don't know that it had any. Yeah, I guess that part that was like shameful and nervous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was the one saying, let's get it over with, a conversation about publishing. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're at all related.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the shame, nervousness was like going towards that feeling of the mob turning on you. So
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the get it over with and don't get distracted and don't get too off course feels like a separate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks to those ones for giving us space to do this.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of humor right now. Like, not sure if we went in either one of the directions.
Yep. And like I was saying about any of the other parts that we want to commit to revisiting, I'm happy to revisit with these ones.
Well, I mean, I guess like this teenager is definitely showed ties with thinking about a community of people having judgment. And so I see how we were touching on that. I mean, I can feel other parts come up that want to say like, yeah, but this is different and it'll be fine.
She needed what she needed.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I've really never honored that part of my life very much. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say that. I wish that wasn't the case, but having kind of been with it in a different way today, I'm like, yeah, I can recognize that I really haven't appreciated how hard that was.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense with like dealing with other parts surrounding like this, what will people think of us if, or of me? It makes sense that this part needed some relief before being caught up, caught up to date.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. I mean, to have stuff going on and have protective parts wanting to have their input, and then to just dial into and to notice and dial into this exile part, and to just stay with her and see what she needs and see how that kind of trickles up to affect everybody else.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Just, it's really a lesson in like learning how to honor wherever the starting point is, whether it's where you thought it would be or where parts thought it would be, or just really honoring wherever it is. And a part wanted to just come in and say it's not a starting point, it's just the next step, and that's more accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. And recognizing that there are exiles beneath protectors. And so you can kind of just assume that and that's kind of the ultimate shortcut, if there is any in this work, is getting to those exiles.
Yeah, the base of this hurt and this,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I am curious if you have a few more minutes, like how I would love to hear what benefits that you see in sharing and what possible detriments that you can see in sharing this particular episode that we're talking about,
Okay.
if you're open to that.
Yeah. Give me just a minute to shift.
No problem.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm not sure that I'll have a very clear answer because
That's all right.
the shifting was not so easy for me. I'm in a space of making sure an exile has what she needs, and it's hard for me to even remember what it was that specifically that we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think, I mean, I can speak in some generalities, which is
Or I'm happy to clarify if that helps.
Anytime something, I don't know, we have such fascinating conversations, and I mean, part of me kind of just wants to share everything.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard to enumerate the benefits, because the benefits are out there in the future.
Right.
And I don't know who's going to hear it, and I don't know how it's going to affect them.
Yeah.
So I try to leave what are the benefits of doing this at all as just this really wide open horizon.
Yeah.
And I just have this feeling like, yeah, if
There's no
if
way to
there
know
is
exactly.
there's no way to know. And so again, like, I cut things when people want them cut. And I often just feel like, well, if it's anything other than here's my address, why are we cutting it? Now,
Sure.
I get that I'm not the one sharing a lot of the vulnerable stuff. So
Yeah.
they're not my parts so much on display, and I'm not the one having to experience whatever turmoil that causes in the system around that. So it's easy for me to say,
Right.
share everything. But I guess I'm just trying to talk about the upsides are more than I can imagine. I think they're potentially.
Right.
Yeah. The downsides are disturbances to systems. And if, that is something that
That's funny. I didn't even think about that. Wow. Parts were very externally focused. They weren't even thinking about internal repercussions. Yeah. That's interesting. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah. Parts, repercussions, or system upset. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that, well, we can work with that, So again,
Right.
all easier said than done. And I have my own limits of what I want to share and when and how. And it's not up to me to tell someone else how to feel or
for sure. Yeah.
have any expectations around their parts or decisions around that. So
yeah. Can I share with you a downside that parts
Please.
of mine have been worried about?
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for thank you for shifting and also being aware of the exile. That all of that. Parts of mine have been concerned, or part has been concerned about that our work post that episode, if we publish an episode that callers hear, okay, there's an attraction that she has towards him, and that's what they're talking about. And so now any work after that is not taken seriously or discounted in some way. Yeah.
Processing that. So the concern would be if the caller has parts that are attracted, then the work won't be taken as seriously by the listener.
Yeah. Or like it will be diminished in some way because there will be this other thing that listeners are wondering about, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think part of this is because I myself was so amazed how I was able to just move like so smoothly through that with you. And then I haven't felt like that's been an issue at all in working with you. And there's just, I think there's a little bit of disbelief on how like seamless that's been, and worried that other people will be still like putting a certain lens on things.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that is unique to attraction parts, like James and caller have parts that are frustrated with each other. James and caller have parts that are 100 other things towards each other and each other's parts.
Right.
And curious what makes attraction unique. In that's the thing that
I guess because it's never been talked
discounts
about
the work.
on the podcast before, like that. I feel like that's what makes it stand out, because it's not, I'm sure it's present in different times for different parts, but not talked about thus far, at least published wise. Yeah. So I think clearly I'm not the only one that feels like there's a stigma around attraction and whatever else.
Correct. Yes.
And I would like to, I would like to help lift that stigma.
Yeah. So I would think the way of doing that would be to continue staying curious about that part and staying with, what does it want you to know around that? Why? What makes this so strong for this part that's concerned about that?
Yeah, we've been in a few different conversations this week.
Great.
One thing was that there was a particular person from Discord that I'm pretty close with, and we were concerned, this part was concerned in particular what she might think of this. So it actually wanted to have the conversation directly with her and say, this is the thing that I might publish, and what are, you know, just be able to, we don't really know too many people off of there very personally. So if they have judgments or feelings, like, yeah, of course that would suck, but it doesn't affect me as much as like someone that I feel a connection or a bond with. And that conversation went well. She, you know, didn't have judgment around it, and could understand, and shared a similar experience of her own. So there was no judgment. But I think the other thing that came up for this part was, what was it? Oh, I lost it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, you were saying to stay with the part that is worried. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. So was worried what she would think personally, and the other concern was if we would jeopardize a community that we're really enjoying and really valuing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a resource that we're happy to have. And
totally. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Not wanting to be, I think this is the teenager. I'm not sure, but I'm hearing like, I'm feeling it kind of in the arms. Not wanting to be seen as like the stupid girl with a crush, like, you know, yeah.
Okay. And that feels like it's connected with that teenager.
Definitely feels the same in the body.
So that was something else that she didn't feel safe expressing or showing in her environment, was attraction.
Yeah, that would make a lot of
she,
sense.
the way she would be made to feel was like a stupid girl. That would be
Yes.
the judgment that she would receive for that.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure how much she wants me to say out loud, so I'm just being cautious
Awesome.
before I'm like repeating things.
Great. Yeah. So you're back in touch with her?
Yeah. But it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, attraction got us in trouble. Attraction made us look stupid, do stupid things.
Gets everybody in trouble. Sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, but that's really what it is. It's like that. Then you're just diminished to the Supergirl with a crush trope. And like, you know,
Yeah.
what about all the great work that comes after that and the really meaningful, deep places that are seen? You know, are they going to be honored? Are they going to have space within that judgment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important.
It's really important. And her experience, really important.
Yeah. Mm.
So I'd suggest just continuing your work with her around her experience, her feelings.
Yeah, and letting her scream it out in the woods some more.
Awesome.
And just letting her know that she can do this as many times as she needs to.
Yep.
For as long as she needs to. And she can get tired and rest and do it again. And yeah. And I feel like there's a lot more trust with me now, and just in being able to speak how we're really feeling about something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like there's more confidence in that there is that adult looking out, taking notice and caring.
Yeah, that's what she needed.
Yeah, she feels like as long as I'm able to do this, to safely express how I feel, how parts feel, that feels safe. Yeah.
Yeah. And in our work, the degree of that safety to speak for parts, I think, is the degree of the depth or uh, yeah, power of the work.
Yeah.
It's something we're both responsible for. It's not, you know,
Yeah,
something we're
it's
both
definitely
responsible
easier
for.
when you're working as a team in that, for sure.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. But I'm just, I don't know. When I think about, put myself in the shoes of a listener and what work, what work or what caller's work I'm discounting. It's not the one who's sharing more or showing more of that vulnerability and um, feeling more safe to talk, to speak for her
Right.
parts.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I know that we're both pretty compassionate people. So there's a part that's like, not everybody's as compassionate as you guys. Like, and
Everybody's got
that's,
parts.
but people that are listening to an IFS podcast probably at least have a good amount of inquiry towards compassion in some way.
They do. Everybody's got parts. Everybody's got self.
Yeah.
And I doubt we can predict the thousands of different types of parts that come up in listening to any of this
No.
work, any of the work that I've published.
Yeah. Well, I think that here's a pro that a part came up with as far as for publishing. Just trying to phrase it out loud because I haven't done that before. Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like, at least we'd be publishing and this is the part I haven't quite figured out the terminology for, but like quote unquote success story, in the sense of like it didn't hinder working with parts and getting to know parts. And yeah, I mean, I think like you had said in your text, we were able to discuss it well and move through it. So yeah, there's definitely a pro of like, well, that demonstrates a lot of clear communication and maturity on both ends.
Demonstrates the power of IFS.
Mm-hmm. That too. Very well. Yeah. Well, thank you for talking through all of it with me and for not pressuring me in any way, shape, or form at all.
Yeah. It's my aim. And thank you. I've enjoyed the whole process and am happy to continue discussing that or anything else. So
thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think that I feel pretty confident in how I feel about that decision, or parts feel pretty confident at this point, but I'm just like giving it some time to settle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels, the reason why I say it feels clear is because like they're giving me like a clear answer, but then also like under these certain stipulations and conditions, and this is how we feel good about it. Like, so they're being very clear on what feels right to everybody right now, and I'm hearing them and acknowledging that, and just also like, let's sleep on it and
Great idea.
powwow tomorrow.
Yep. See what other parts might come up around it.
Yeah.
And I will do the same.
Sweet. Thank you very much, James. And yeah, I look forward to next session. I'm just saying it out loud to these parts as well as to you, like getting back to the parts that are really struggling with intimacy and yeah, everything we were working with.
Okay. I will also note that down and follow up on it next time.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Good night.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.